Bonjour les amis, suite de nos interviews à l'ECA qui organise son Club Connect à Madrid en 2025, une série de conférences. On est là avec, vous le reconnaissez à l'image, un ancien très grand joueur. Je suis vraiment content d'être avec Mario Gomez. On va parler forcément de ce qu'il a pu vivre sur le terrain, mais aussi de sa reconversion. Il est dirigeant pour le groupe Red Bull avec des activités à Leipzig, mais aussi au Paris FC. Vous savez que le Paris FC a changé un petit peu de dimension. Il a intégré le conseil d'administration de ce club. Je vais faire les questions en français. Mario répondra en anglais, donc vous aurez sous-titres, ne vous en faites pas. Ce sera très très clair. Mario, forcément, comment allez-vous? Est-ce que vous avez appris déjà quelques mots de français?
Yeah, bonjour. But that's really. I have to say, I was really great in French in school, so I understand you probably most of the things, and but I forgot to talk in French, unfortunately, because I never do it. So now with our project in Paris, hopefully it will come back, and hopefully in 1 or 2 years we can do it in French. Let's see.
Avec grand plaisir. Vous avez rejoint du coup le groupe Red Bull en 2022 en tant que directeur technique. Quelles sont vos missions sur place?
Yeah, as you know, we are owning some clubs, and Red Bull had always the idea to connect those clubs, and as it's not so easy because you have your daily stuff to do in a club, you have the pressure, you have to win, you have to deliver the business plan, and so on, which you have in each football team. We have it in our teams as well. So there is no time to connect with the other teams, and not there is no time to think about the future together. So Red Bull started to have a unit, which we are with Red Bull Soccer on a global side. So we are there to support our teams on the strategic things, not daily business stuff, but of course organizing the clubs in the right way to that we believe that the club can be successful, that the people in the club can work and do their best to get the support from us, and but then at the end doing their job as they would be in every other club. So that's the idea, the main idea. Thinking about the future, where we want to be in a few years. What is the trend? What is the innovation in football, and so on and so on. So it's a bright field, but yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Durant votre carrière de joueur, est-ce que vous envisagez plutôt cette reconversion comme dirigeant plutôt qu'être coach?
Yeah, it was quite clear to me because I mean, it's a fascinating job for me being a coach, and being a good coach even more, because it's so difficult because there's so many influences. You have to take care of so many different things, and most important, you have to talk the same language as your players, otherwise they don't follow you, and that's really difficult. So I have most respect for this job, but for me it was always clear after 20 years on the pitch, doing at the end one part of the coaching stuff, so executing what the coach wants from me, being into tactics, into team tactics, my specialty to score goals, whatever. I always found that in football there's so much money, but the structure around the first team, that the team and the coach is not really well set up. And that was the idea from myself, always to jump into there, to help really others to shine, to be successful, to rise also, and to develop, and doing this in the second row in the background gives me a lot of energy. I love to help others to grow, and I can do this in my role, and I think first row in football should always be the team and the coach, and the rest of the club should be in the second, and that's exactly how I am as a person, how my personality is, so I love what I'm doing.
C'est super intéressant d'avoir votre vision, et justement, vous êtes dans l'un des projets les plus excitants, les plus intrigants du football français au Paris FC. Comment vous le vivez de l'intérieur?
Yeah, I would say I'm involved into the most interesting football project in Europe, or in the world. It's Red Bull. I'm part of this, and I love to be there because some things we do differently to other organizations, as I hear from outside. There's a real passion within Red Bull for our projects, and as I said before, we are owning clubs, and now, as you mentioned, we have also a partnership with Paris FC. We are involved there, and we have a partnership with Family Arnaud and Family Ferracci, who is still leading the club as a president. It's a fantastic project, not just because of our past, where we were developing a lot of French fantastic players, but we really believe in this football player from France, especially from Paris region, because it's a mix out of everything to be really competitive. So this was always our first region to scout. So now having a project there, a club together with the other stakeholders, it's fantastic for us. It's really it's something which is great, but that's a long way to go. Everybody is already talking about some future stuff, which is normal if you hear the family and also Red Bull. You combine this and you think, okay, that has to be successful. But in sport, nothing is for free. So you have to suffer a lot. You have to sweat a lot. You have to put in a lot of effort. That's what we are doing. We started to do this. We are not in the driver's seat. We are the co-pilot, and we try to help with advice and some guidance, because we are very, very experienced on the sporting side. But again, it's a really long road. We are not in a rush. We want to do it really like proper, sustainable, and the right way. And of course, the experience we had in the past with our clubs helps now a lot to make a club grow, which is already a great club. They are doing really well in the league, also the past years without us. And now together with us, we help them to grow even more and to become better, and hopefully one day to compete in France as well. But this is the future dream.
Justement, qu'est-ce que vous voulez améliorer un petit peu au sein du club? Quelles sont vos premières décisions? Je sais qu'on a parlé du centre d'entraînement, d'avoir plus de terrain à ce sujet-là.
Yeah, I mean, this is a natural thing. That's not Red Bull, that's not Family Ano, that's not Paris FC. If you are getting better, if you are going to Ligue 1, if you are doing well there, if you go the next steps, infrastructure-wise, you're always growing as well. So of course, this club has not the perfect training facility, has not the perfect stadium, has not the perfect infrastructure at the moment. But for the moment, it's very okay. It's more than okay. But of course, as a football organization, you always have to think about the future as well. And then we start to prepare this. We start to talk about this. There are no exact plans on what it should be in 2 years, in 5 years, in 10 years. There are some ideas, and we are working on this now. And then in the future, we're gonna. Or the family will present the club, how it could look like, but we are really at the first steps in the beginning.
Et justement, dans cette perspective, comment votre vécu d'ancien grand joueur international peut aider le club à grandir, peut aider le Paris FC à se développer?
Yeah, I mean, that was my career and has nothing to do now with the situation in Paris League 2. So, of course, you do some experience and you can be more relaxed or more into it, because you know, okay, now it's getting dangerous, or now we can relax because it's just a moment, whatever. So you went through this and you can be probably more relaxed about things. But still, it's football. It's a lot of money in there. There's a lot of competition, and we want to be always successful. So that's the pressure we are having, and therefore we have to do the right things. And yes, everything I can give, I'm an open book to anybody. Everything I can give within our organization, within our clubs and our corporations, I will put on the table, and the responsible guys have to take whatever they want. We are in a consistent exchange. We are talking about and discussing about things, but at the end, I don't think that I know everything and can help them to be a Champions League club in 20 years. That's not what my personality is. My personality is to really understand the people on site, to understand the situation on site, and to listen to them, and then trying to understand, okay, how could we solve the problem, or how can we move on with this, or how can we do the good things even better, stuff like this. I'm not a guy who is talking always about my past. I'm not at all.
Alors, on a envie de savoir aussi, avec ce projet Paris FC, Red Bull, il y a Jürgen Klopp qui est impliqué. Et justement, ça fait quoi de travailler avec un tel personnage en tant aussi qu'allemand?
Yeah, I don't have to lie, it's a dream. To be honest, he's in my favorite sport, football, but I think worldwide sport number one. He's probably one of the most important 2-3 guys, together with Pep Guardiola and probably Carlo Ancelotti. Those three been the last 10, 15 years very influencing football, and having him as an expert, seeing his view on the things on the pitch, on tactics, on leadership, on whatever, it's just incredible. We have a very open, very honest exchange, so he's giving me the freedom to be myself, which helps me a lot to express myself, and I'm really thankful for this to work together. Not only him, I have on the other side, on the business side, Oli Mintzlaff, which is probably in the football world one of the best business managers. So I can grow, I can learn from them, which I'm doing. They can be kind of my mentor. I'm Mario, and I don't want to copy Jürgen, or I don't want to copy Oliver. I take what I think is helpful for me, for my journey, and I listen to them, and I respect them more than I could, because what they achieved so far is great, and I always want to be the best in what I'm doing. So there's a long way to go to be in my position the best. So try to learn and to exchange with them.
Pour terminer cette page Paris FC, donc quel état d'esprit êtes-vous avant ce sprint final en Ligue 2? Il reste plus beaucoup de matchs.
Yeah, it's a very competitive league. There are a few teams who are fighting for being promoted, so we really believe and hope that we can make it. But as we saw at the weekend, everything is always possible. We won the top game against Lorient, and then we lost last week 3-0. So it's kind of very tense moment for anybody. Everybody knows that this project will not be for the next 10 years in Ligue 2. As soon as we can be in Liga, it's even better. But again, the plan was not this year to go immediately to Liga and then be next year Champions League. We want to be sustainable, we want to do it proper, and of course we want to be successful. Success means winning games, and if we win our games, we will be promoted. But I can just say that we from our side, we support the sporting staff and the management from our side to keep calm, to relax, to be very focused on what's next, not to see what is the big picture around, because that doesn't help for the moment. Can be also intense for the players and the coach to have this story around now with the family and the Red Bull. So really focusing on sport, on the daily things in training, on the next game, and then the next, and then the next. And yeah, if we win those games, we will be promoted.
Quand on a le plaisir d'être avec vous, Mario Gomez, ancien grand joueur, forcément on a envie de revenir sur quelques moments de votre carrière. Tout simplement, c'est quel est le plus beau souvenir de votre carrière justement?
Oh, this is a question people always expect. I'm telling them now the win of the Champions League, for example, which is very special and probably the most intense moment in my career. But to be honest, there are so many. My first goal, my first game, my first national game, playing in Camp Nou, playing in Bernabeu, stuff like this. It's like I played my very first professional game in Chelsea, Stamford Bridge Champions League quarterfinal. So I cannot tell you the only one moment. There have been so many, and I'm so thankful to be part of the football history the last 20 years. When I was young, I was dreaming about this, but I never believed in that I could be world class. And in my time in Bayern, I was for 3 or 4 years in the top of this, in the top level of the strikers. So being there, feeling the air there, how hard it is to survive there as well, helps me a lot to understand now things. My last year in professional football was Ligue 2, because I've been relegated with my home team Stuttgart, where I wanted to end, to stop my career, and then I had to go on to move on 1 year more, because I didn't want to stop as a relegated player. So I went to second division, which was, I couldn't believe. If you would have told me this 3 years before, I would say yeah, for sure. And then I was there, and I had to take the challenge, and I took it, and it was so good for me to understand also the different phases and different things in football than just winning Champions League or being the cup winner or being a top team. So I'm thankful also for the biggest defeat in my life was not being in 2014. I was injured in Fiorentina, I couldn't join my team. I was a national team player for 11 years. I played all the tournaments except one in between. This was the one we won. If you hear this, it's probably painful already for you. So imagine for me. But from my perspective, from today, it was the best thing what happened to me, not being there, because it opened my eyes. I saw many things very different. Before I was like a real striker, taking care of myself and of my statistics and about my career. And with this defeat, not being with the World Cup winners 2014 in Brazil, opened my eyes a little bit more on why I'm doing this. So because I love team sport, because I love to be in the dressing room with my teammates. It doesn't help me to score if I'm not there. So changed my mind a little bit. I became adult. I became more serious, and I started to think about much more things than just my statistic, and that helped me a lot to be now also in my role what I am, because I'm taking care of many more things than just myself. And as I said, in the moment you don't need it. You don't need to miss a World Cup, but from my perspective, from today, it helped me a lot.
C'est très fort ce que vous dites, Mario Gomez, parce que vous évoquez les stats, ce besoin. On a aussi eu ce débat en France avec Karim Benzema. Pour vous, on parle peut-être trop de stats dans le foot.
No, because that's the reality. So now we have even more statistics because we have data from all over. So we are just analyzing data. We don't see the humans anymore. We just see data. And I'm not a big fan of this. We need the data. Data helps us to understand things much better, to help us to be clearer, to be more efficient. But it's still a game who's played by humans. And you mentioned Karim Benzema, who was probably, I would say, the last 30 years with Ronaldo Il Fenomeno, the best striker ever. At least the last 30 years I remember in football. And we have to find those guys. And Karim was not always the player who scored most, but he was always making Ronaldo grow. He made the players next to him better. And I couldn't. I was not the type of player on the pitch that made the others better. They made me better. And now in my position now, I can help the others to grow and to be better, and that's why I'm so happy. Of course I love Benzema as a player, and we have to find those players because they have this extra. And we are searching the extra, so hopefully we can find, in my time with Red Bull, many of them. We use data, obviously, and we need it, but there is more than data.
Pour finir, on aimerait forcément revenir sur peut-être votre 11, les coéquipiers les plus forts que vous avez vus en club ou en sélection. Je pense qu'on va avoir de sacrés noms.
You know what? I never did this, to be honest.
Okay.
To be honest, because I think it's not fair, because there are positions you have teammates 3 or 4 on the same position you like, and you can have only one, and I don't wanna be unfair to one of them. So I don't care about those stuff. I don't care if somebody is putting me there or not, because that's not friendship. That's what you were able to do as a player, and there are many players out there that are more talented than me. I know this, so I had never a problem with this. I never had a problem with bad comments on myself, because I knew that I'm enjoying my journey, and I knew that I'm not the best player in the world, so I could accept this. But others, they cannot so good. There are some players, they will be angry, and that's why I never did this.
Ok, c'est une très belle réponse, au moins il a fait preuve d'honnêteté à ce sujet-là. En tout cas, c'était un immense plaisir d'avoir Mario Gomez avec nous pour parler du Paris FC. C'était la première fois qu'il s'adressait à un média français pour évoquer ce projet, puis on a pu revenir aussi un petit peu sur sa carrière, donc c'était forcément un très beau moment. Thank you very much, Mario.
I could tell you one position, because that's so crystal clear to me that there is no doubts for the others. So as a goalkeeper, I would always play with Manuel Neuer, because for me he's the best. He's the best in history. For me, he's the Messi from the goalkeepers, so he would be always in my starting 11.
Bon, voilà, vous pouvez compléter les 10 autres joueurs, vous pouvez trouver au Bayern, à Wolfsburg, Fiorentina. Il y a eu tellement de bons joueurs qui sont passés avec Mario Gomez. En tout cas, merci beaucoup à vous et c'était super intéressant. Thank you very much, Mario.
Thank you so much.
Merci à vous les amis, salut, à très vite.